Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Open Mic episode 40. And tonight we are going to discuss Outpost 9. But before we even get anywhere near that, let me just apologise for the technical issues. We've had a bit of a nightmare tonight. For some reason, I created the link, so perhaps I'm guilty. But for some reason, the show scheduling said that it was going to be at 5:30 p.m. instead of 10 p.m. my time zone. So when I actually loaded up the show and logged into the show, like as far as YouTube was considered, the show had been and gone. So perhaps either I clicked it wrong, which I don't think I did, because I'm like a machine when it comes to stuff like that. I just click, stationary. It's imprinted in me to click that 10 o'clock mark. But maybe I did. Maybe it's a YouTube issue. I don't know. But either way, we're here anyway. We're late. We're here. There's a new link. There's a new time. Let's just move forward. So, guys, it's been a crazy week in BP. We've had Outpost 9 drop, which has been very, very interesting. I'm sure many of us are still just getting our heads around it. And, of course, we are going to talk about the preview server yesterday and some of the stuff we've seen in it. And unfortunately, Mark isn't here tonight. I know Mark did do a video for the preview server, but he's not here tonight. He's out getting drunk. So fair play to you, Mark. I think Andrew's out getting drunk tonight as well. So fair play to Andrew as well. So guys, you guys are going to be the talkers. I'm going to be the listener, the listen guy. But no, guys, what do you think of OP9 so far? Let me work my way from the far left to the far right. So on my screen, that's you nines. How are you finding Outpost 9? What do you like? What do you dislike? What do you think of my hair? Hit me. Interesting take.
I still say there's a little too much product. But no, I'm loving base parts on finally getting my turrets up there. I hated sitting there waiting 10 days just to put a new weapon or a new special one, and it's finally either 7 or 6, and I'm just waiting for the raid to start my Outpost 9.
Nice. How come waiting for the raid to start OP9?
Because I'm going to have everything up to that I have to have OP9 to do it. Right.
Okay, I'm with you. Okay, no worries. Okay, then next on my screen is the wonderful... Oh, Nines. You forgot to say, what do you think of my hair? Just kidding.
Oh, I said you use a little too much product.
Well, yeah, okay. I can see that. Brian, how are you this evening? And how is OP9?
I'm doing pretty well. Finals, getting the swing of finals, so kind of juggling that and the BP stuff. OP9, pretty good. I was able to get it done quickly because you shouldn't have been able to do base parts for OP9, but between that and the token, I was able to get that done. OP9, I like this. It's great, especially the base parts. I had level 5 turrets and plenty of level 6 walls, even though really only the former can be done with base parts. I'm getting the turrets up just fine, and I should have a reasonable base defense pretty quick, I feel.
Mm-hmm. Nice. I really like. I think the fact that you can get your turrets up it seems to be the one thing that everyone's so happy about is that upgrading those damn turrets. You know. Okay, George, aka the mega ship guy of TFC.
Mega G.
Mega G. Big G.
I want to take this opportunity and remind everybody that we want to see Liam with a mohawk, and he promised that if everybody comes in and signs up, if we get to 8,500 members by the 20th, he's cutting the mohawk into his hair. So let's address the hair first. That's our goal. 8,500 by the 20th. Mohawk on him. As for the OP9.
There was someone that challenged me on the page, and they said if we get up to 8,500 members by the 20th, will you shave your hair like Captain Harlock? And I said stupidly that I would.
So make sure you get everybody signing up. Okay. Now, as for OP9, I love a lot of the stuff that's in it. I'm ecstatic about the base parts, the catching up. They actually put some forethought into this before they dropped it, and I think it's going to be interesting what I'm a little concerned about is I wish they had done it in 2 steps instead, because I'm a little worried about what the R6, the next Conqueror hull stuff is going to be. Because to kill that kind of, health is going to be some powerful hulls. So we shall see.
Okay. Nice. Okay, let me move along to the raid target sniper, the thief, the man that they call Imre.
Oh, is it my time already?
I'm just kidding. Yeah, no. How are you finding OP9 and what's your thoughts?
Well, I had about 1 day and a couple of hours to wait when it came out, so I missed the opportunity to use my base parts. And then, well, I happened to be sitting on some of those 7-day tokens, so I just used those. So I got my op done, and I've done the shipyard as well. I think I'm gonna do something with the last one. Maybe the dock, maybe a turret. We'll see. I love the idea that we can use base parts. The only problem is that, remember all those long months when we were trying to not to lose a single second and hit the upgrade of the turrets all the time? Now they can just use 55,000 base parts and save those 2 weeks that we spent on upgrading them. It kind of devalues our efforts. And
I think you touched on a point there. I agree with that. Like we sort of bust our nuts to get something done, and then it kind of gets given away for free. But I think the game always ends up that way one way or another. I think in some senses you gain an advantage, but you're not going to hold that advantage forever. It just means that
that's actually it. And the thing is too, is you have to remember, something like this is going to cause a disparity between levels. You have to let them be able to catch up and feel relevant. Otherwise, they're not going to play, and you're not going to have anybody to steal, targets from.
Yeah, the gap would go too far. Like if everyone went to OP9 and then started getting level 8 turrets, there'd be so many people that weren't even at level 7. They probably would just give up. And I think what Kixeye did with this is not so much gave a handout. It kind of controls the power creep, and it also controls that gap between the player base, because I imagine it'll be something they continue. Like I imagine when they go to OP10 and turret level 9, they'll probably retroactively make it so you can upgrade OP9 and turret level 8 with base parts. They'll probably continue to step back with that and allow the power creep to stay at a level balance. So I agree with what Imre said there about like we busted our nut to get there, and now they're giving it away for free. But I don't mind, because I know it's doing so much good at that end. Do you know what I mean?
And it's not free. They still have to get a siege fleet to get base parts and go out and get the base parts and repair the fleet over and over. It is a lot easier, yes, and that's great, but it's by no means free, and we have all our stuff now, so we can kind of stay, maybe not a full step ahead now, but like a half step ahead. And considering how drastically these changes are for turret health and specials and such, that's not nothing. That's pretty significant.
I kind of feel sorry for those people that were not planning their bubble pad and did all level 14 warehouses and almost get a 50% hit just from losing their warehouses.
Yeah, well, it's very interesting at the moment. I think the way we're only a week in, so it's kind of not everyone's adjusted. I think that bases are going to change so drastically once everyone starts clicking on to the different things we can do. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see the next few months in the game. I think it's going to be a good time. Is it okay for me to now move along to you, Jeff? Are you finished, Imre?
On the side note, at first it looked like we can use all those base parts, so it wasn't as painful as it is now, because it looked like I can do a level 9 turret in 2 days and 19 hours or something, and I was like, okay, well, everyone can catch up, but at least I can also make some progress, but not anymore, and that just sucks. And there was the other half that, oh yeah, I can fix my dock in 20 minutes, hooray! Not anymore. That was a bug. as well. So it's just like, here's something for the little guys, and you big guys, you think you actually have something? Oh no, you don't. Screw you. That's the message I'm getting.
Okay. Well, I think it's going to be interesting to see, though. I think how this one pans out. I think it's a bit early days for us to call it. You know, I think it's going to improve as we go. Is what I mean. Jeff, I'll jump over you, Jeff, because I think Jeff's just airing out some mic issues, and I will ask the wonderful Mike. How are you finding OP9, and how are you finding the game? Have you upgraded? Have you thought about changing your hair to my hairstyle? Mike? Okay, let me move along then to the man that is... Mike, you're there?
Yeah, I was trying to get unmuted, you know, this first time.
No worries, mate, no worries.
Yep.
So, buddy,
go ahead, ask.
No, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, mate. Just carry on. I apologize about that.
OP9. Well, first I'll tell you, I'm one of those guys that's like a level 92 that shouldn't be there because I don't have the knowledge or the skill yet. For a long, long time, but came alive a little bit when the Punisher came out, and a good buddy helped me get it. Miles since Punisher days. I'm struggling real hard to understand some of the mechanics, and you guys are a great help. But as far as OP9, I did start it with the base parts. I was able to do that, so it'll be done tomorrow. And my options, because I think my is a combination of just about everything. Mm-hmm. Sure what I'm going to pick. TSM's been helping me quite a bit. Of course, the page, and I depend heavily on what I learned from this group as to what I build and how I build them, because I don't like to make mistakes, and I don't coin a lot. Mm-hmm. So, and I'm retired now, so I'm doing this almost all day long.
Okay.
When the wife doesn't have stuff for me.
It's good to, so you're enjoying the game and you've got plenty of time to play it.
I love the game. I do.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, listen, if there's ever anything you need any assistance with, you know, feel free to drop any one of the admins a bell, you know, drop us a PM, and we're always here to do whatever we can for the community. And it is great that there is so many Facebook groups out there, not just TFC, but there is a lot of help out there, and I feel it's a great thing for the game. There's a great community behind it. You know, everywhere we look.
Yeah, I've personally had very good results with almost everyone that's on the panel there. I do pick on TSM quite a bit. Mm-hmm. He helped me get he helped me get my level 30. So I am R&D 30 and trying to move from there. So every single one's been very helpful. And I'm trying to help those that are less educated than I am, even if that's possible.
Well, I've been very blessed with TFC and in the fact that the admins that have got involved, although I wouldn't want to say it to their faces, you know, they are a great bunch, and they do work so hard to really help the community, and they're only in it for the community, which is great. So I'm really, really appreciative for all the guys' hard work and everyone involved in TFC. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you very much, Hair Job.
Except for Stuart, who is just a dick.
That's true. On the side, you do actually have some questions.
That's right.
So, Mike, if you have any questions at all, send them all to George.
George is like, he is like the mega, like, he's like the mega master, and then Stu is like the mega kind of learning master. So
yeah,
Stu is the guy. Really, you need to message Stu, and then if Stu can't answer it himself, he will then concur with George.
I've picked that up. I think Stu would mute me.
Now, you see, I will never concur with George, so I will definitely answer your question. But send it to George anyway, because it's less for me.
There we go. I'll just forward it to Stu.
Okay, well, listen, I believe... Sorry, go on.
I read the stuff that George puts out and everybody puts out and try and digest it. And Ren's videos are awesome. So, I can keep going, but I won't.
Yeah, no, appreciate. It's great to know that the efforts are doing their purpose. It's great. It's great to hear that. Let me move on to you then, Jeff. I know we skipped over you. You said you were having a few mic issues. Are you okay now, buddy?
I'm okay.
Good to see you on tonight. So how are you finding OP9? And most importantly, what do you think of my hair?
Well, let's see. I love the bass parts, and yeah, I got about a day left on OP9. I got in before the fix, so
okay.
Otherwise, I'm busy upgrading turrets and collecting res for the first time in a long time.
So yeah, everyone talks about this fix, and the bass parts thing, I was one of those unlucky guys that had a turret upgrading and tried to upgrade the OP, and got excited when I seen what was going on. And then lost all my bass parts and got nothing for it. And I was very upset about that. But I had enough time to go out there and fill up on bass parts again, cancel my upgrade, and then restart my upgrade with no turret building.
He really means
the
upgrade.
And then coined the last 6 days or whatever it was. So I was a bit fortunate in that. But obviously, I didn't know that it was a bug. I thought it was working as intended because I would never exploit such things.
Yeah.
Okay. And anything else, Chad? I mean, anything else about OP9, or do you like it? Do you dislike it?
So far, I like it. Everybody else has pretty much covered all the details, so.
Good stuff. Okay, well then let me move along to. Is that Paul K? It's been a few weeks since I've seen you, buddy.
Yes, I'm here.
You are, and you are also a Megaship guy, I believe.
I'm working on it.
Right. Okay.
And it's just got busted.
Well, how are you finding OP9?
Don't talk to me about base parts and upgrading shit. OP9 will be good when I finally get there. I've got a few days left.
You've not started OP9 yet?
No, I've got a few days left.
Okay. Well, no worries. Well, I think there's a lot of people in that position.
I did miss the glitch thing. Which was a bit disappointing, actually, to be honest. But there we go. It's an important upgrade, wasn't it?
Well, I think because a lot of people didn't know that, we knew OP9 was potentially coming this year because it was talked about, but no one actually had a fixed date on it. So it was kind of a surprise to from Kickside to the community. And I think there's maybe some people that maybe started upgrading the turret to level 7 just before the update, and they're probably the ones that are a bit pissed off and I'm still waiting out to start it, which is kind of sucky. But
I got on, basically run you down through it. I got on, I saw I could use base parts, went to fill up. By the time I went to upgrade, and I did have a 7-day token left. I went to upgrade, and then I couldn't use my base parts, so I dipped, basically. I did get my A-Lock Sentinel out of it, I suppose.
Well, you'll get there. You'll get it started, and I'm sure your mega ship will play a part.
Yeah. Are you running with a mega or not?
Well, I am all about the megas. Megas is what I live for. But
I haven't actually seen your mega parked up yet anywhere.
No, I'm hiding it well.
Well, actually, I've seen plenty of your megas around, but I haven't actually seen your mega anywhere on the map.
No, I'm more of like I want to say secretive.
Stealth mode, is it?
Stealth. I'm not really. Yeah, I'm not very mega social right now. I'm getting there.
Have you got a phantom mega? Have you?
Not what I wouldn't say phantom. I would just say that I have a very good cloak.
Hey, the sub.
Ninja mega. You never see it coming.
Yeah, it's a good. No, do you know what it was? Right. Trying to think of a reasonable excuse here. No, I mean, I like the idea of the megas. I do. I generally do like the idea of the megas. When I did the special with GD Raken about mega ships, generally he made me excited about them. Like, he made me very excited. I went out and collected the fragments I needed that night. So, I know that it's a great thing for the game, and I do like the feature. I just struggle to have enough free time to play BP as it is right now without adding another level of gameplay into it.
I must admit, they are a pain in the ass to keep on top of.
Exactly, and I know that I'm just about keeping on top of everything else. I mean, I've even had to step down as leader of an alliance and pass on leadership to someone else because I didn't have enough free time to run this show and run an alliance. So, in terms of free time, it goes TFC BP, you know, and it was meant to go like alliance TFC BP. So it's very difficult juggling it. So I didn't want to build a mega ship because I knew I wouldn't have the time to play with it. If that makes sense.
Well, yes, the good news is you can always coin it.
I can always coin it, and you know, I know everyone thinks I'm a filthy coiner, and in some senses I am, but maybe I'm a clean coiner. I don't know, but okay.
No, they're fun, but they are a pain to keep on top of.
Mm-hmm. Well, I imagine so because they're quite big, aren't they? So just to get on top of them in the first place would probably be a challenge.
Yeah, but they're worse than your base actually at the moment to keep.
Keep
on top of them. They are hard work to keep on top of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well then let me move on to the wonderful. Well, actually, he's not wonderful. He's a dick, Stu.
Oh, he's muted me. Oh no, he hasn't.
No, he hasn't. He muted himself. Stu.
Oh, hello there, darling.
Talk about OP9 and my hair. What do you think?
Well, your hair is shit.
Right.
Moving on from your hair. I've forgotten. No, I haven't. I've got it. No, I missed the glitch that everyone else did with the base parts and that, and ended up coining it because I felt sorry for myself and really didn't want everyone else to have something that I didn't want, that I didn't have. Sorry, so I gave in, which sucked and cost a lot. Mm-hmm. The first thing I noticed, obviously, was the base parts. Absolutely amazing. The remainder of my turrets that I had that weren't quite level 7 are pretty much level 7 now. So big shout out to them for that. I like how they've done that with the game. I don't think it's sort of giving it away, you know, as it was brought up earlier. You know, maybe they were giving some of the players a hand in. I actually think it's good for all of us. You know, because with future upgrades, you can upgrade, you know, your next turrets and stuff like that. Say Outpost 10 comes out, might get 2 more turrets. You can upgrade them now to level 7. You know, I mean, we all do get the extra 2 turrets from OP9 anyway, so, I mean, it does help there. Mm-hmm. Beyond base parts, as I said on the Tuesday show, the artwork is absolutely phenomenal. Mm-hmm. I'm over the moon. I've gone with Draconian on mine, and it just looks beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. Like, I log into the game more now just to look at my base. You know, it's just amazing. You know?
Fuck off!
I'd take like 2 or 3 days off the game. I'd be like, right, I've started that shit. I've got a 10-day bubble. Bollocks to it. I'm not logging on, you know? But now I'm logging on every day just to look at my base and go, oh, it's beautiful. But I will say one thing. Fuck walls. Seriously, what the hell? I hate walls.
You hate walls?
I hate the walls.
Yeah, there is a big Zinfian famine right now.
Yes, I mean, I'm hitting people's bases going, I'm going to nick your Zinfian. Oh, you've got none as well. Brilliant.
Mm.
You know,
well, for anyone out there right now, I'm sat on about 300 million, so come and pay a visit.
Well, I'll come and collect
you. Just kidding, I don't have any.
No, I'm coming to your base now, sorry.
Yeah, I've kind of got load base. I'm actually upgrading some of my stuff to my resource generators to level 12 because I still have resource generators. Mm-hmm. Do all the Zinth, do 4 wind, do 4 metal, do 2 oil, and you can get a wall from 8 to 9 in 4 hours about of passive production, and a wall from 6 to 9 in about 9 hours.
So every 4 hours to get 1 wall. Brilliant.
Nope.
I go to problems, mate. Thank you.
Brian's top tip. Brian's top tip.
Yeah, keep step 1. Keep regen in your base.
In all seriousness,
no. That, in all fairness, that is actually not a bad tip. To be fair,
but I would like to say as well well done to the whole Kickside team that worked on Outpost 9. The changes are absolutely beautiful. I mean, I love every aspect of Outpost 9 so far. I mean, everything I've ran into is stunning. You know, like I said before, the artwork is beautiful. The changes with base parts was genius. You know, it's the fresh air that the game I think needed. I have something to do again when I log it.
So, Stu, as a person that's going to be going Drac just like you, I do have to ask, did we get what we really wanted? And that's Greta in a bikini?
Well, I was kind of disappointed on that front, but look, maybe we can have a word with Rakin or something to see if we can, get a low cut top on her. Yeah.
To hell with Greta, man. It's all about Zoe. All right. Now, I would actually like to see. I would like to see Zoe.
See, this explains everything.
Zoe and Greta go at it. I can see a raid, right, where those two, go at it, at war, at conflict, topless, mud wrestling, the works. No?
Zoe is into some rough stuff. Zoe will use some dirty tricks.
As it happens, Brian.
Got him.
Actually, I just want to call something out from chat. Laredo says, pro tip, you're going to need the upgraded walls. So I figured that probably deserved a shout out.
Oh, that's true. If you zoom in really close, if you like take the wall sprite and isolate it and zoom in really close, you will see "Suck it, Malice" written on the wall in really small text.
If it says you're going to need the upgraded walls, then my idea would be either Malice is going to get a new cannon that's going to rip your ass apart, or you're going to see a rocket ship.
Wait,
I'm going to resume the cannon.
Malice flag.
Now I'm going to resume the cannon. I mean, we suspected that anyway, didn't we? I mean,
well, we were expecting
the new hole. If we're not mistaken. What's that called? What's the new hole in the next raid?
The Cannoneer.
So it's called the Cannoneer. So maybe that's a hint there. I'm not quite sure. That might be being a bit too subtle.
One job.
One job.
Stu, you're being too subtle, man. Can you explain
okay, but
for everybody?
We're derailing here, and we haven't even given the lovely Tito a chance to express his views on OP9. Yeah. Tito, I feel bad that we go left to right on my screen and you get it last. Next time I'll try and work right to left. But how are you finding OP9 anyway, mate? And welcome to the show, of course.
Thanks. OP9, well, it's an exciting experience. Mostly has been said. The base parts, I think it's amazing to catch up with turrets and alike. And you haven't asked, but about your hair, I'm quite disappointed. I was expecting mostly shaving your hair tonight, live here on the show, and didn't happen. So, but yes, about OP9, quite a good and interesting experience, especially because it lets the newbies to catch up with the base parts idea. I think it's one of the best things they have done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. The base parts thing is such a... I mean, I had 4 turrets at level 7. Level 6. So everything else was level 7. So for me, it was great. And I was running 1 warehouse shy. I was actually running with 4 warehouses instead of 5. And I decided, bugger it, I'm just going to build the 5th one. It's like level 15 overnight, I mean, it's just instant with base parts. It's unreal being able to adjust like that. So it's a different game.
So what's everybody needing for the base parts?
The hate part is to upgrade the walls.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should do something so you could upgrade more than 1 wall at a time, because with that sort of anti-hack system they have, if you are not even slowly upgrading them, you get frozen all the time. You have to refresh, and that for me is a very pissing experience. But well, we know it's time that there is OP, there are walls, and the walls are the problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be a long, slow haul, these walls. It really is, for everyone, I think.
Yeah, no, but walls always have been, haven't they?
They always have been, yeah. I mean, but the thing is, before, it was easier for me because I had so many campaigns I could start and unstart, start and unstart. Whereas now I've already done all the campaigns. I mean, I wish that we could have the opportunity to replay campaigns even though we've completed them, even if it's just for res farming. It's much easier. I mean, I know there's stuff on the map. I can send out stuff and autopilot stuff and fill up quickly, but it is a pain in the ass. It is.
It's a slow down mechanic, actually, isn't it? In all fairness.
Well, it depends how vital they are, really.
Yeah. No, what I'm saying is it's slow. They always mention power creep, blah blah blah. All present company accepted, whatever, whichever way we decide to play. But it is a way of slowing the game down. If you've got to sit there for an hour and upgrade, 20, 30 walls, it's a way of slowing you down, if you like. Not that I like it.
But the problem for me, Paul, is not to store the amount of res you need. The problem is that you have to do it one by one, and you cannot just go and start clicking fast. You have to do it slowly, because if you do it fast, the system throws your...
Yes.
And you have to refresh just to keep doing it.
Oh,
I don't
know if you've done it lately, Tito. I was going to say, I don't know if you've done it late, Tito, but they've changed it. You actually have to wait like about 5 or 6 seconds now before it'll actually do the wall. Yeah, it comes up processed on your screen before it does it now. So it's actually slower, but it's a lot less crashes. So that's kind of a plus there.
Yeah, but I mean, 500 walls at 6 seconds a pop. That's a lot of time, even if you are.
Well, that's 500 times 6 seconds, obviously.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, but I mean, it's a no-brainer task, right?
I'm just kidding.
It is a no-brainer task, though, mate. I mean, you can just literally sit there while you're watching the movie, upgrade wall, watch the movie, upgrade wall, watch the movie, and just keep doing that. You know, I mean, you get it done eventually.
Okay, guys. Well, listen. We've ran into half of the show so far. We started half an hour late, so we're going to be running for our full hour, but just the times are off. So we're halfway through. We've had half an hour to discuss OP9. I guess it's I did want to really discuss on direction and build path, but we'll talk about that maybe on Tuesday's show. George and I believe Brian, I know we had a preview server yesterday. Surprise, surprise, preview server. So there was some stuff revealed in that. There were some targets. I know TSM did a great stream that a lot of the admins jumped into. Sadly for me, I was working and I didn't get a chance to even log in. But let me leave the floor to you guys, and you guys can take it away, because you probably can educate me on this. What was the preview server like? What were the prizes, and how do you feel about them?
Well, the prizes I think we can talk about separate, because there was a bunch of them, and the Cannoneers one that we probably should address. I mean, we had Mark was doing one stream, and a couple of us were on there and having him test some builds, and the 105 seems to be the same. The 107 is a new target, but it looks like there's a pattern. I think the Holsch had posted up a way that he had done it, and a couple people noticed that you couldn't hit he didn't hit the two of the extra point things, but I don't think that's a big deal. All you got to do is just go up a little bit further to grab them. So it looks like you can do it. I'm pretty sure you can do it for no coin if you have, if you take the time. The problem I have, again, is just the time suck that these targets are going to be. Doing both of them and doing them so you don't get nailed is just going to be a pain in the ass. We had a couple of Tideseeker builds that we tested in the 107s that did pretty well. I mean, I think it was 7 coins with no Grease Monkey to do the target. And the Mayhem build and I think it was the combo build that he used did well. His Garwood went rather well, so I'm assuming the Garwood and the Reciprocator will do well as well. We were doing a blank Harlock with 4 Tideseekers that were built out, so we'll see. I mean, I think the targets, are doable. But again, the only issue I have is just the absolute time that it's going to take to do it. For an S target or an S set, I would much rather have had them use like the very first target where you blitzed it and had to pay, 3 or 4 coin, get that done on one side, and then take your time on the 105. And that way it's not as much of a time suck. You still got to pay some coin, and you're getting a ton of points hopefully that way. But we'll see. I mean, they didn't. It's nothing crazy like the last Apollo one. I don't think so. Other than the time that you're gonna have to be in it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and the Hulsh. Actually, let me just mention too. The Hulsh is in chat, as a matter of fact, and he says that his Hellrace weren't even fully ranked. So if he can do it for no damage with hulls that aren't fully ranked, that means that they're doable. It's just another puzzle like the 105 was. So we'll have that cracked on the first day. Somebody will have it up.
Mm-hmm. So, okay. Well, then prizes. I mean, guys, Brian, I know you're waiting there to jump in. I can see.
Yeah, I've got some pictures open right now. I haven't been able to link to the post proper, but the first thing that I have
got some pictures open right now. I mean, are they BP related or?
Yeah, they're BP related.
Sorry, that was a joke.
They are in this. One of them's in the side chat, just so people. Hopefully, did it work? Did it not? Did it not load in your piece of?
Yeah.
There it is. Okay. first thing that you see, and you'll probably see again because I accidentally posted it twice. That's a new special, the Flechette Feeder. Weapon weight 14%. It's a ship special for Forsaken Tier 5. 50% radioactive reload and launcher supercharge times 3. So the interesting thing is we've all been trying to think of cannons. Oh, cannons, because Siege, and we've all been using cannons. Oh, great. Thank you. Perfect. I'll just
little bad boy there. Let me see if I can zoom in. I don't know.
I tried to link to the post itself, but I wasn't able to do so. So yeah, that is, and I think it's really good because there's a lot of weapons now. The Cyclone launcher, there's just all sorts of the new launchers that have a lot longer reload time than normal. We're seeing 11 and 12-second kind of reloads, and this is a great service to that. It's going to take the reload down when you're fully ranked, when you're fully skulled. It's going to take the reload down by about a second. If it's 12 seconds and a little less than a second, if it's 11. Launcher supercharge, solid. It's really great for launchers, which is the next thing down. There's a Squall launcher picture. Really sorry I couldn't link to the proper post that had all 7 of these.
1 sec.
Sure.
Bear with me. Because I just clicked that from the chat and then...
There's a lot of... It's the very bottom one. I'll say in parentheses what it is after it's...
Okay, so which is you've posted 3 pictures. Do you want me to picture?
The very bottom one, it's got Squall launcher in parentheses right beside it.
Okay, 1 second. I just need to adjust slightly. Sorry, guys. We're a little bit...
and I can assure you, if you tried to make me do this, it would take me even longer because I suck at this.
So you do not...
Brian, his computer's upgrading at the moment, all right? Give him a break.
You're very professional, Brian.
That's a mouse upgrade? Okay. Oh, I'm professional. It's not showing the actual screen.
Right. Are we ready for this? Are you ready? Pow!
The Squall launcher? Oh, boy.
Yep. I just did that. You just witnessed that.
Squall launcher's happening. Well, again, these are all subject to change. I probably should have led with it. All the prizes, the Flechette Feeder, this one, the other few, they are all subject to change. There's no guarantee at all that these will be the final stats. But so Squall launcher, range got good damage on it. I want to say it's split over a 5 salvo, so that might be an issue. Long reload time, which can be a bit of a problem if we're dealing with launchers, depending on how unreactive the opposing structure is. Structure in this case, or the opposing ship. The 11-second reload time, again, it would do great with the Flechette Feeder. Actually, let me just, it would be, assuming no other bonuses on the hull, you're looking at about 1.83 second reload fully skulled, and with the Flechette Feeder at that. Shockwave damage, 24,000. That's okay, I guess. We don't know how many stacks it takes. The real important part, down in the defenses, you see that's all 6 defendable damage types plus 2%. All of them. This is the much heavier.
This is the new version of the D30R.
I was going to say the fact that that's offering resistances obviously means it's designed for PvE as opposed to PvP, because resistances mean nothing in PvP. So it's a PvP launcher, which suggests to me that maybe, we're looking at possibly a weapon for upcoming content.
Well, not to mention as well that you can actually use this weapon with the low weight as a, for a spotter tank.
Mm-hmm.
Bump up some of your defenses a little bit more for some of your Forsaken mission fleets.
GDR already mentioned that the upcoming raid is a siege raid, which means we're going to be attacking land-based targets. What faction they'll be, we don't know yet. So, land-based targets, groups of turrets, maybe launchers could be a great option for something like that.
Yeah, we've also got to remember that we're going to be doing fleets as well in those siege targets, I think. That's surmising.
No fleets. Not at all. Not a siege target. That's a garrison where there's some ships. Yeah. But
well, it could also be as well. I mean, for instance, the Cannoneer, I imagine, will be released with some kind of cannon, as the name suggests, and then maybe they'll do what they did, like the Tideseeker, and release, like another hull in the campaign, and that will be the weapon that goes with that hull. So you've got 2 options to do the raid.
I'm waiting for a new cannon. I've got the 8 Sentinel built, and I've got some weapons on it, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, put that cannoneer up.
Yeah, we haven't seen one
Some
yet.
of those slots have got to be left open. Personally, from my personal opinion, for a new
I do
weapon, which they are going to release at some point. I'm pretty sure they will.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing that, and I think we're gonna slide over to the cannoneer in a second here.
All right. My preemption there a little bit. Sorry.
The one issue that I have that I am worried about, and what Paul just actually kind of started talking to was, the cannoneer has a ballistic accuracy buff of 50% to it, which seems very odd for a siege hull.
Yes.
We are locked on to the cannoneer, I believe.
Okay, so I have a kind of a theory about this, but I wanted to touch on the launchers for one last bit. The good thing about the launchers, their shockwave effect, the quote-unquote splash of it, the area of the shockwave, is significantly bigger than the splash of a lot of the cannons, excepting the Hadouken from the pack cannon. So because the turrets aren't usually close enough together that you will be able to hit multiple things with a splash, but you usually can with a pierce if you line them up right. That can be more effective against some strangely clustered turrets that we tend to see in the targets. Now this thing, I feel like they started with the Centurion and kind of tweaked it, because the Centurion was sort of made before the whole divide really went out. Before the actual like Drac mining bases and siege targets as we know them right now were created.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they kind of took the template for the Centurion and upped some numbers without really considering it, I guess, a lot of the time, unless they have the strange random torp towers that are coded as ships, and in that case ballistic accuracy might help, but I don't think that's going to be the case.
So what's your verdict on the cannoneer then, Brian?
I'm not as impressed as I feel like I should be. Like the difference between the Rhino tier 4 and Apollo tier 5 was huge. A huge boost in terms of defenses. The accelerate ability really changed the game on how you would attack the targets. Mm-hmm. The buffs to antis as well. Like that ship was tailor-made perfectly for the targets it was designed against. The Hell Race, a lot faster than the Tiger Sharks, but you kind of gave up something too in terms of the cloak time and that whole cycle, but you also got a huge percentage damage buff. In the case of this, the damages, the buffs that you get seem nearly incremental in a lot of cases, except if you have unretroed Centurions. R0, their combat speed's 18, R5, their combat speed's 24, so if you're going from R0 sense to this, it's going to be a lot faster. But the reload, the accuracy, the range is a little bigger, and that's important. The damage is a little bit bigger, but not too much. Armor is a little bigger. The rest of the stats look pretty comparable, except for the siege deflection and the stun resist. And George has a theory about stun resist. George, go.
Oh, I actually have to disagree with you, which is very rare.
Okay.
I think this cannoneer actually is going to be, again, tailor-made for these targets because of some of this stuff. I mean, the stun it's actually stun immunity. 100% stun resistance is stun immunity. I think Doom had hinted that there was going to be an interesting mechanic in the new siege targets, and I think this kind of gives it away that that mechanic is going to be stun. And the ballistic accuracy kind of has me a little bit worried. I mean, nothing is set in stone. Things can always change in this game, so I would not be surprised if I did see something in those targets that needed that ballistic accuracy. The defenses are comparable more or less, except for that siege deflection, which I think is huge. It's almost twice as much. And then the turn speed, interestingly, is significantly higher. So I don't know if maybe this is going to be one of those targets that you are going to have to drive in. I think that they've been coming out with targets that have a skill depth to them, and I would not be surprised that this actually would play to that. How exactly it would combine, I'm kind of curious, because that's some odd different areas to have buffed. But I think that stun resistance is going to be huge That and the siege deflection are going to be huge in the next targets.
Yeah,
and I'm really worried about that ballistic accuracy.
And George, you're exactly right on the stun resist mattering. I wasn't thinking that was my fault. I just in my head, I had my build in my head where I have agility system 4 R15 on everything I want, so it doesn't matter as much. But yeah,
depends on how much stun you get. I mean, that really does depend on how much stun you get.
Do you think that this hull could outperform a Centurion against the mine?
Yeah,
against a mine.
Currently, no.
So.
I think it could.
Currently, no, but those mines are changing.
I think it could.
See in January.
I generally think because of the siege deflection, I think it could.
Yeah.
It's
the deflection is big.
Right, but the big mechanic in the siege targets right now is splash.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't have the splash damage reduction. I know that's the problem.
Yeah, that's what we don't know, and you can get the splash damage reduction pretty high normally. I think it was like 62% splash damage. Let me just.
But with like an extra 400 or whatever it is combat, siege deflection, then.
Yeah, if you're reducing the splash damage by an extra 60% before you apply your deflection, though, that's gonna matter in some like higher damage situations. It's really weird that they took away kind of the selling point of the Centurion over the Punisher, that being the splash damage reduction, versus this. I don't understand.
Not being funny, Brian. The Punisher is a far superior hull to the Centurion for most things in the game, but
yes,
I set my Centurions up basically for the dubs when they first come out. And
yeah, they made things around the sense, and that's really a good way. Sorry to divert for a second, but it's really a good way to kind of mitigate the effect on power creep when you have those really interesting and different stats. The Centurion's difference is splash damage reduction. Normally, it's worse. You're exactly right, except in cases where there's a lot of splash or different damage types. And then the splash damage reduction will kick in, but the different damage types do better for the Punisher, which has inherent resist. It's really a trade-off, and that was really good. Here, the trade-off is different than we'd expect. I thought it would be.
The only thing we'd actually know is to actually take them out and test them. Like a fleet of these versus a fleet of them. It'd be difficult to call. I think I've seen statistic once on the splash damage given by those huge ballistic cannons in the mines and dubs, and I think it was something like 2,000 or something. So the deflection versus the resistance, it would be tough to weigh up. We'd have to. I guess you'd only know from testing. I guess.
Yeah, we'd have to actually get these things up and running and actually run them.
Mm-hmm.
That is the only way we could actually probably test these.
We're still comparing apples to oranges because they're two different targets.
Yeah.
The siege targets coming out in January are for these hulls, and those siege targets are going to turn into the mines in 3 or 4 months. So, I'd rather have this.
Yeah, no, but should on a sense be able to do the siege targets in January?
They should, just about as well as maybe Tigers do this one.
Oh no! I mean, remember, they released the tool needed for the raid cycle. We were released the Hell Wraiths just before this raid cycle started, and they did that on purpose because of the issue we had with the Apollo raid. So they're sticking to that nature, or at least they've said they are going to, and they're releasing the hull we need in this month's raid for the next raid cycle. So for everyone that wants to be able to do the next raid cycle at a good pace, should collect the hull that's going to be on offer this rate.
Or they could just put splash damage reduction on the cannon and make us all go, what?
What, a bit like our little, our new torpedoes that I just put on my Hellra.
And also remember, you can get the hull at any point, but if you don't get the hull now, the problem you have is that you're one hull behind for the whole raid setup, because in that new setup on January, there is going to be this hull plus another one, and that one you will not be able to catch if Kickstarter keeps on the same line, allowing just to grab one prize for each of the tiers.
And on that note, Tito, as well, bear in mind we're stepping into OP9 now, so OP9 territory. I would want to bet that next year we kick off with some pretty powerful base fleets. So if you're going to have to choose between this and that, you're going to be faced with a real tough choice next raid. Not in a January raid, I mean, of course. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, George. Was I interrupting you a minute ago? You were trying to say something.
No, I was just saying. Usually, what they've been doing is coming out with a Conqueror Hull the next month. So, like in January, if they offer this month, January is probably going to be a Conqueror Hull because that's one of the aspects of the game that really is a choice rather than PvE where you kind of have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay. Well.
It's not that bad if you missed it.
Right. Okay. That's true. Okay, well, shall I screen share the
Zealous? Go for it.
This one. It makes me very zealous. That's terrible.
Nice.
Terrible joke. But,
Interesting. If you were following along on the same post that I was somehow, there's a Zoe's Vendetta. We don't know what the flagship effect is. It looks like a normal Vendetta, except for the flagship effect, but we don't know what that is, so skip.
Yeah, I've seen that as well. There is a Zoe's Vendetta floating around. Let's see what pans out with that one. But I don't know. I don't know how that's going to fit into the game. It would need to do some pretty cool shit to fit into OP9. Let's be fair.
Yes, it would.
Some explosive deflection, please.
Yeah, I was going to say, given that new mortar, that's going to have to be one of the things.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to have to. Otherwise, they're just going to be dead. But,
okay, guys. So the Zealous, what do you initially think when you see this hull?
The top four.
New class, generalist.
New Punisher, to be honest.
Yeah, new class generalist. Very, 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 very interesting.
Well, maybe they saw that we were stronger than them. Since they tried to make targets for each of the holes and we just used the same hole in many different targets, they decided to make a generalist to go with the flow.
Yeah, I mean it's great that it has a sonar range and a thermal imaging range, so that's very good. I mean the thermal's a bit low, but it's still great stats to have in a hole of this kind. Assault DPS and siege DPS increasing your damage. Assault deflection, siege deflection, which are both very high, higher than everything.
As far as I can tell, this ship is going to be a support hull.
Oh, definitely.
As far as I can tell.
But with that many weapon slots and that many armor slots and that many special slots,
well, look,
if you wanted to build a ballistic hull, you build a ballistic hull. You want to build a rocket hull, you could put anything on that. I guess the saying would be like a jack of all trades but a master of none. You ever heard that saying?
Well, the first 4 slots on there are actually different. I can't figure out what they're for.
I think they're empty. They're empty.
That's what I was
slots.
thinking. Maybe they're countermeasure only slots.
They look.
That's why I'm thinking, a support class hull, something tanky
like,
that you can use as a lead and use as a backup.
Yeah. They look like switchblades. That's what the picture looks like in them. But the thing that I don't like about this is there's no resistances whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're going to
get in mind that maybe it's not finished yet because it wasn't the preview for that hole.
Mm-hmm. It's a fantastic hull. Yeah, that's my view on it. Even without the resistances and without any real standout things like that, just looking at the deflection stats and whatnot in there, I know straight away that I could use that hull in a few different fleets and it would work very well.
Yeah, but look at the repair times before we even start adding anything to it again. Are they creeping up again?
No, that's repair efficiency 1-to-1. It's a bit of a... They're kind of doing that now sometimes. Wait, no,
I don't even think that's... I mean, the preview server... I've never once seen a repair time stay true in the preview server.
Yeah, no, but come on, we're creeping up to... If you're going to... Oh, this is a lead flag ship anyway, but we are creeping up. They're starting fleet repair times up, even though some stuff's coming down.
Okay. I have concerns. So a lot of people keep saying that, and the thing is, they have baselines, like usually it's a repair efficiency of 0.8. You repair 1 point of armor every 0.8 seconds, or 1 1/4 armor a second. Sometimes they do make it 1. That can sort of be a penalty for power in other cases. In case of the Harlock Tideseeker, maybe in terms of the generalist use of this hull, we got to pay in some other way. Again, that's not final. It might drop down. But usually, actually adding armor will tend to lower the repair efficiency overall unless it's a Conqueror hull. Like the MC and X's are 0.6, so that'll lower it. The other stuff is usually 0.8, so it won't do anything too bad to it. You also have to look at the base armor points when you're talking about the repair time and how long you want the ships to last. People keep complaining about, oh, this is 24 hours from dead. Yeah, you auto it till it's dead. That's your fault. You done goofed, and that's what you do. You have it repair for a day because you made it hit 10 targets in a row. Like, almost nobody does that. That's on you. The repair times aren't changing all the time. You're just not looking at the armor points and figuring out about how much a target or a hull can do before it completely dies or before you'd normally pull it back to repair. Mostly people are just wrong and need to stop that crap. Sorry.
So anyway, why is this any better than the Punisher? Because the Punisher has, I think the Punisher
Not
is...
really.
Well, as we've already discussed several times, all the stats are subject to change, and we really don't know what this hull is or what it's going to be. But, it does have thermal and sonar. That's got that over the Punisher, so if you want to go down that path.
Yeah, what is the Punisher's base?
400.
500 each.
Yes.
500.
So, it's significant enough to make a difference. But...
It's got more armor slots.
Yeah.
It's got more armor slots, but it has no defense numbers at all. That's just
Punisher,
big...
they might add that in.
Punisher in the game is still the better all-round hull, isn't it?
If you put...
talking over people here, blah, blah, blah. I'm talking over people, sorry. Punisher's still got, as a strong hull, it's still got the overall best stats at the moment. As flexibility for in the game, if you'd like.
If you put one of the Forsaken Researchable, the layered, the reactive, or the ablative in, and you load up a lot of your slots with something like a Phalanx or a Gale to give yourself that other resist, or if you really wanted to, you could just load up 10 looks like normal slots for that, the other launcher with the plus 3% to everything.
Right.
You can get this pretty focused into quite a few different jobs, and then there's the armature booster resists and maybe deflection even further. I think this is kind of like a lower level FM tank if you don't have the Tideseeker for some reason,
when you say,
or just want to do something.
When you say low level tank, are they going to be able to get this?
I don't know. Legitimately have no idea.
It depends
maybe
on the
an easy PLC.
Yeah. That's what I'm asking. Sometimes we talk. Yeah, are we going to get this hull? How many years on the panel was going to get this hull? Whether we use it or not?
It's difficult to say at the moment because
it.
we are talking about something that at the end of the day is water paper, because it can change so much from here to the rate, and maybe it doesn't even show on the rate because it could be a TLC price as well.
Yeah, but the way that we're talking about everything else that was in the thing, we're assuming it's at face value right now. We can't just go, okay, well, everything else was really cool the way we saw it, but then this one, well, it kind of sucks, but we don't know what the final numbers are going to be. That's not what we're doing. We're taking it at face value, and at face value, I am not impressed by this at all.
No, I don't think it's meant for us. I really don't.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's in context. We just don't know, I guess. We do know that we're getting a siege whole next raid to do the next raid cycle, and I guess that's about all that we do know is confirmed, and we don't even know which one that is.
Or if we're getting a cannon. That sounds important.
We do cannon. The cannoneer. Damn.
Yeah, that would be the biggest troll ever.
Cannon George.
Well, guys, we are on the line of being an hour long so far. We've certainly hit a lot of subjects, but I just wanted to say, without taking the prizes into consideration, how did everyone feel about? Did anyone see the targets or target changes? Is the raid still going to be okay for everyone? They've not really done anything drastic to change the difficulty.
No, I think the difficulty is probably the same. It's just the time is just, you're at least doubling your time that you're going to have to do on S-sets if you were doing S-sets before.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, I guess Tuesday we're going to have our pre-raid discussion. We'll probably have the prize list. Hopefully we'll have the prize list to show you guys, and discuss what we think would be a good route to take and maybe give you guys some tips. But I guess between now and then, enjoy BP, enjoy upgrading your bases, and thanks everyone for coming on tonight and for coming to watch the show tonight. Is there anything else? Sorry, is there anything anyone wanted to throw in there before I close the show?
I just want to say sorry about the technical difficulties. Sorry about the technical difficulties, and tell your friends to come and sign up at TFC so Liam has to shave his head.
Because he seriously needs a haircut.
Because I'll start. It'll get to 8499, and then I'll just reject all members.
But you're not as quick as me, mate.
And I'll remove everyone's admin rights. Just for that.
Well, Liam, I've got one thing to say real quick. For all those people, me included, that still have Snowfall open for resources, next time you see someone hitting cargo on the map, just start laughing.
Do you know what, Nines? You're not invited to these shows. All right.
Nines, why would you hit the Snowfall campaign when you can go and hit 75s and get the same amount and still uranium that you don't get on the Snowfall, for example?
True.
Because
we'll hit 97s for base parts.
I've been autopiloting 97s. Sorry.
Oh, 97s for the base parts. And you get more or less the same amount you get on the Snowfall campaign. So.
Where are the red mines?
Where are the red
mines? Let's all cry. Where's the zip mines, Steve?
Oh, yeah, maybe we should add zip mines to the most wanted the wish list.
The red mines are in Paul's base. You can go hit him anytime you want. He's always.
Don't forget, guys. There is a road crew that gives you like a
doubles in the Dragon Slayers, and it improves draconian holes.
It only works in salvage. It only works in salvage, though.
Salvage. If you're a salvage pirate.
Yeah. Salvage pirate. If you're a salvage.
Okay, guys. Well, listen. Great show, everyone. Great information. Thanks, everyone, for coming out. Like George said, really sorry about the technical difficulties. Blame Stu because he was meant to host tonight and he messed it up. Yep. We'll see you guys Tuesday.
Liar.
See you guys Tuesday.
See you later.
And have a great weekend. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.